Mill Valley Fall Arts Festival Vera Schultz Award. Mill Valley has always held an aesthetic appeal for people in the arts, and every year we celebrate our legacy as a town where culture thrives at the Fall Arts Festival. Held at Old Mill Park, a serene redwood grove near downtown, the event features high-quality studio craft, fine art, and photography, and that's only the beginning. With a changing group of juried artists each year, the festival always feels new, yet familiar. It is a cornucopia of delight in the colorful variety of beautiful handmade objects, the layout of the booths, the delicious food, the creative activities for children, the installation by a featured artist, and the excellent musical offerings. It brings us back home to our roots, celebrating our present and inspiring our future as a community that values the arts. Apart from its director, Steve Bezier, and artistic liaison and publicist Irma Murphy, the nonprofit festival is run entirely by volunteers and artist volunteers who enjoy a special camaraderie and collaboration. It is not a profit-making affair, unlike so many festivals today, but a break-even cultural event that expresses the unique spirit of our town. The festival is a community event. People feel happy there. They smile and greet one another, connect with neighbors, and make new friends. It has also been a place of comfort and solace. In 2001, 9/11 happened days before the festival was to begin. The board and city of Mill Valley were faced with the decision of whether to cancel or postpone. They met and decided to go forward, mounting simple signage at the entrances. We hold this festival in honor of life, love, and art. Those attending were heartened to be together that weekend. As the festival refreshes itself each year, it changes in small but important ways to reflect new ideas, approaches, and materials. Yet, it always feels the same. Rain or shine, the Fall Arts Festival is a can't-miss event. Mill Valley Fall Arts Festival. Marty Balin, Musical Arts. Marty Balin said about himself, "I was born with a song in my heart." His mother affirmed that he sang and whistled before he talked. Marty possessed a reservoir of inner resources that, for more than 50 years, fueled an unending output of music. He combined a highly distinctive voice with one of music's most original creative minds. Collaborators describe Marty as a down-to-earth, straightforward man of integrity, a vortex of light and spirit. First for the band he founded, Jefferson Airplane, then for its successor, Jefferson Starship, and after with small bands and as a solo artist, Marty was at the heart of the American musical landscape. Jefferson Airplane burst on the scene during the Summer of Love with its breakthrough electrified psychedelic album, Surrealistic Pillow, putting San Francisco on the rock map and spawning a new style of music. Shortly after, Marty moved to Mill Valley, taken by the area's natural beauty and warm, sunny days. He bought and renovated a small house on East Blythedale, adding a distinctive pyramid and, in the kitchen, an encompassing artistic collage of the late 60s. He began taking long walks on Mount Tam with his dog and met an entirely different group of musicians, with whom he quickly bonded. They exchanged songs and ideas, frequently at salons at his house. He performed at the Old Mill Tavern and the Sweetwater. Living in Florida with his wife, Sue, Marty continued to support and perform periodically at 142 Throckmorton Theater. As part of Jefferson Airplane, Marty Balin has a prominent place in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And, to borrow a phrase from his late great friend, Janis Joplin, Marty will always have a piece of Mill Valley's heart. Marty Balin. Dart Chirk, Visual Arts and Design. Dart Chirk is an innovative architect, artist, and community visionary who was a guiding influence on design standards and major developments during a pivotal period of growth in Mill Valley. From 1970 to 1980, he was a member of the Architectural Advisory Committee to the Planning Commission. During his tenure, architectural standards were developed for downtown, Lower Miller, and Alto shopping districts. The committee guided the development of major housing developments, public buildings, and Bayfront Park. These projects shared a common quality: a creative approach to the planning of civic spaces to emphasize enhancement of the human experience. If the description of Dart's creative output was distilled to a single word, the word would be harmony. He loves to work with what nature has already put in place. In a simple tree branch, Dart sees unique beauty, texture, and shape. His many home renovations across Mill Valley reflect an aesthetic that combines simplicity with elegant materials with as little disruption to the natural surroundings as possible. He designed the remodel of the Mill Valley Council chambers as a volunteer, transforming a dark, uncomfortable room into today's graceful and inclusive space that brings citizens and their representatives together to solve common problems. Harmony is also Dart's life philosophy: harmony with nature, neighbors, and community. And vocal harmony, as Dart and his wife Esther love to compose and sing, alone or with friends, at home and around Mill Valley. Since moving here in the late 1950s, Dart and Esther have hosted countless salons, and they march frequently for peace and the environment. While Mill Valley architectural planning and design review continue to evolve, Dart Chirk remains a voice for retaining as much of the character of the town and surroundings as possible. Dart and Esther remind us to live life more fully by slowing down to experience the friends, community, and environment we share. Dart Chirk. Warren Farrell, Literary Arts. Educator, social activist, and author Dr. Warren Farrell takes the most challenging aspects of gender diversity and gender wars and addresses them directly and compassionately in his books, articles, talks, workshops, and seminars. A champion for women's equal rights in the 1970s, he might have remained a golden boy of the movement. But his research, both statistical and experiential, told him that men, too, face gender inequality. His shift in point of view led to criticism from former allies, but as difficult as that was, he remained steadfast, speaking out for free speech both for himself and for his critics. Balanced and calm, Warren teaches us not only to consider our own points of view, but also to remain open to the perspectives of others. He is an advocate for both genders because he knows that the needs of women to feel useful and live good lives and the needs of men to do the same are equally pressing. His present work on the challenges that boys face growing up in so many fatherless households is important and cannot be ignored. If one has the patience and wisdom to follow Warren's conclusions about what gives rise to misunderstandings between men and women, one sees the brilliance of his arguments. He believes in the human capacity for personal growth, and this is reflected in his own life. He continues to emerge as a caring individual, growing and changing. As leader of couples communication workshops, he facilitates breakthroughs to new understanding and greater love. In his own relationships with his wife, daughters, sister, and friends, he practices what he teaches. A hero to many, he is always respectful, unassuming, and an active listener. In his books, which have been translated into 17 languages, Warren's insight is prophetic and his conclusions are measured and wise. A model of kindness, positivity, and perseverance, he is a powerful force for good in the world. Warren Farrell. Larry the Hat Loudsker, Contributions to the Community. Larry Loudsker is one of the reasons Mill Valley still feels like a small town. He's the force behind the annual downtown block party in early autumn, when part of Throckmorton Avenue is closed off and the whole town gets its groove on with a fashion show and dancing to the music of local bands, all for the benefit of Kiddo. He's the organizer of our grand annual Memorial Day Parade. He helps produce important musical events for the Mill Valley Film Festival. He hosts the most rockin' holiday party in his famous fore-shop in December. And he's always ready to help raise money for local as well as international causes. On ordinary days, Larry stands in his doorway, surveying downtown Mill Valley as if he owns it. This is a posture developed years ago, growing up on the streets of New York City, learning the ins and outs of life, discovering that how you carry yourself or present yourself can determine many an outcome. Larry is always thinking of some opportunity, some angle. His doorway is the perfect vantage point for him to know what's going on and with whom. Larry created a clothing store, but what he really created is a place where locals, business people, artists, and musicians can gather to talk about the day's events. It's like a salon, especially on Fridays. Dogs, too, like passing by the shop, where Larry offers loving attention and a treat. At every turn, growing, changing, and learning, Larry's sharp intellect and big heart have taken an inventory of every one of his connections and all of their qualities, good or bad. These people and all of their many attributes are stored in Larry's cloud. Maybe that's what he's doing when he's gazing over downtown Mill Valley. He's checking out his cloud inventory, making sure he hasn't forgotten anything or anyone. Larry the Hat Loudsker. Annie Rosenthal Par, Performing and Film Arts. Annie Par is a force of nature. As a nationally recognized dancer, she hurls and propels herself through space. As an independent choreographer, she creates exciting works that are performed at dance festivals and universities across the United States. As the founder and proprietor of Roco Dance and Fitness, Annie built a thriving business based on the idea that people of all ages can enjoy movement as a way of life. As a teacher, she has helped thousands of students achieve dance skills and self-esteem, fitness, and a sense of belonging. She organizes performing opportunities each year for her students, many of whom have gone on to prestigious dance schools. And as a mother, she has raised two beautiful daughters, one of whom is following in Annie's dance steps. If you could weigh energy, Annie is 90% energy. Annie was raised in Mill Valley, where her talent for dancing was recognized from an early age. She was a standout at Ludlow Ballet School and Marin Ballet, and graduated with a fine arts degree in dance from New York's Tisch School of the Arts. She immediately launched into a career with Margaret Jenkins Dance Company and Della Davidson Dance, with whom she continues to perform. In 1993, while still in her prime as a dancer, Annie returned to her hometown and purchased a dance studio, which she quickly repurposed into her vision. Roco now has 2 dance and fitness studios here and in Fairfax. Annie's enthusiasm, lack of pretentiousness, and sense of community draw people of all ages. In Roco, she has created a safe and healthy educational environment where kids and adults may dance, choreograph, exercise, and move without being judged. Like the redwoods that drew Annie back home, she and Rocco are now an integral part of what makes Mill Valley an exciting place to live. Annie Rosenthal Par.